One of the things many of us don't speak about are dark nights of the soul. A lot of people are talking about awakening and manifesting and, you know, becoming the person they always wanted to be. But to be able to do that, we have to go through a dark night of the soul, at least most of us. I've been through a couple in my life. And it's really a time of intense emotional and spiritual struggle. It's uh it's absolutely no fun. It's frightening and you really feel a sense of despair. You feel like all the things you ever thought you knew aren't even true. You literally start questioning everything you ever believed. And I don't feel like people talk about this a lot. So if you're going through a dark night of the soul right now, if you're struggling, if you're in despair and anxious, it's you're not alone. It's normal, especially when you're awakening, especially when we're awakening to the fact that we are the creators of our world, the manifestors, able to bring and become the people that we were always meant to be. And it really messes with our ego and our subconscious mind because it is there's so many patterns built in there from other people from years ago, and we gotta renew that. We gotta renew the thoughts, the emotions that we're so familiar with, because our emotions want to keep us where we're at. Our minds are not here to make us happy. Our minds are here to keep us safe. They have no intention of bringing us any kind of joy. It's just our minds lock us into habits, patterns, old beliefs, old lies. And until we go in there and change that stuff and at least let it rise to the surface and face it on some level and release it, that stuff's gonna drive us. If our central nervous system doesn't believe that it's safe to have money, we can't manifest money. If we think that we are sick, that we're just sickly, I've always had struggles with my health. If your nervous system believes, you know, that it's unsafe to be healthy, I know that sounds kind of silly, but on some level, you may be feeling like you're getting something out of it, like attention and sympathy. And we get used to those things. And we want to hold on to that stuff. I mean, personally, we don't. With our conscious mind, we're like, man, I want to change. I'm so tired of this. But that stuff is so deep that it's hard to let go of. And yeah, I've had a lot of dark nights of the soul. I also wanted to bring this up. Carl Jung, he was a famous psychiatrist, stated that the dark night of the soul is a natural part of individuation. And that's where the conscious and the unconscious minds merge to form a more integrated individual. So that's how we can integrate the lost, hurt inner child and come to peace with it once we go through the dark night of the soul and take part in individuation. I just wanted to add that. I had to read it off the paper. If you enjoy our content, you might want to dive deeper and check out the two books that I've written. One is called Unleashing Destiny, which is a deep dive into manifestation and how our brain works to help us manifest. And there's also Believe the Best About Yourself and Your Life, a guide to living beyond childhood trauma. So please check those out. And also you can follow me on Facebook under Boyd Townsend. No amount of alcohol, no amount of drugs will take it away. Because I tried that too. When I was going through dark nights of the soul, I tried to drink my way out of it or take pain pills and get out of it. And it'll numb it for a while, but you know what? When you wake up sober the next morning, you're going to be beating yourself up. You're going to be angry. You're going to be depressed. You're going to not trust yourself. And that's a really bad feeling when you don't even trust yourself. That's a scary place to be. And we end up having to face feelings and thoughts that we didn't even know were there. Things come up. Old wounds come up, and we're like, wow, I haven't thought about that in years. But it was in there. Our bodies store all that stuff, man. And that's why it's so important to reset our nervous system, the vagus nerve. I talked about that in my last video, how you can do vagus nerve resets, which is very helpful. Some people do shadow work. I think that can be good, where you go in and you face old things and you release them. The only thing about shadow work is I think you can get caught up in that. I think you could feel like there's no end to it, but you don't want to live the rest of your life doing shadow work because you're just kind of digging up old wounds, and eventually you got to let it go. You can sit there and talk about stuff all day, like old problems, things that happen. Go to a psychiatrist or whatever. But ultimately, you got to just release it, let it go, and move on. I mean, and that's up to us. Nobody can do that for us. There's no one we can talk to that can take that away. We have to face it. We have to do it. So I'm just here to tell you, man, if you're feeling like that, if anybody's going through that, you're all right. It'll be okay. It might last days. It might last a month, but it'll fade. You'll figure it out. You'll release those things. And when you do, you will find that your ability to manifest and your ability to be the person that you always knew you were supposed to be becomes much more easier of a task. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. And I also have a PDF on the Dark Night of the Soul. If you're interested in that, it's free. You can go down below and there's a link tree link and you can get that and we'll give it to you for free. All right. Have a great day.